In this video, we're going to check out some more details of the features on the Roland Mc707 Firmware 1.8. So I just released a quick video about this, but it was more of an announcement. As I looked through the features, I decided I should go into some more details. This video will give you an idea of the structure of videos that I kind of want to plan for the future when I do more MC707 tutorials. So I wanted to actually start with tutorials from the beginning on this, but since this update came out, I think it'd be a good idea to check this out first. So like we covered in the announcement video, there's an undo and redo function. So let's give an example. So I have a couple of tracks here. And let's say we want to record something in. So I press record, and I just play some notes. Okay, and then if I turn off record and turn it back on, I can add more parts. Okay, so now we have that extra part. Let's say we want to delete that. Just press exit and the left measure button. Now we can see it's just that first layer. Let's get rid of this one. Exit, left. It's gone. So there's 10 levels of undo. Just keep in mind, if you switch to a different track or if you switch to a different clip, all of the undo memory will be erased. I didn't really get into this either. There's new multi-effects. So if I press Shift Multi, we go into the multi-effects menu. Right here it's set to through, so we're just going to turn the knob until we get to Exciter. So I can disable it or enable it. Let's press play. So we can hear it's on right now. Let's turn it off. So here, listen to the high end. There's a lot of controls, things like that. But for now, that's the exciter. So next is phonograph. So that like makes it sound like a record. So we press play and turn it on. That's kind of like mid-tones, you can hear a little bit. There's a lot of controls on it, so this is just the default settings. I'm sure we can make it even crazier sounding. So here's the JD Multi. So it's actually a sequence of 4 different effects. You can control, there's so many controls for each one. Let's hear what that sounds like. Whoa. So yeah. So that's the JD 800 synth. It's an effects chain that's on the JD 800 synth. So if I hold down Note and press the right cursor, it'll say Pad Mode Multi. So now what we're looking at is kind of each track can be just played. So you can do is load up, make your own synth sounds or anything really, and then just trigger, and it just triggers on the C note. To exit this mode, you just press Note and then cursor left. Pad mode single. The WAV Preview Volume is accessible from project settings. So if I press project here, we'll see here. Change to set, press enter. And it's right here, WAV Preview Level, and you can change the volume. There's a new shortcut and it's the sequencer transpose. So what we want to do is, as it's playing, you can hear we're on the bass synth track. Now all you have to do is hold down Note and then press another note here. The only thing, I haven't figured out how to do an octave shift. Maybe you can, so. Now this only applies to the one track. If this other track has a different melody. Okay, so let's just make a melody on this track. Okay. I can transpose this, Note, and then press 1. Back to C. So you can do it per track. So on top of all this, we can now save clips, which means we can now save our own presets. So if I press clip here, we can see here save clip. So I just go down to save clip, press enter, and now I can name it whatever I want. Let's just name it whatever this is. Press enter. It says, are you sure? Write, enter. And there it is. We saved the clip. So let's say I want to go into here and we want to load a clip. So it's tone. So enter. Now from here, press clip. We're going to go up, clip file, press enter. And now it has that clip file right here. So I can just load it. Sound source to clip, are you sure? Okay. So now if I go in here, it actually loaded in the notes too. Let's clear those. But yeah, same instrument, just loaded right in. On the SD card, there's a structure of folders, so it'll know like if you're saving in drum, tone, or looper. In terms of bug fixes, there are tons of fixes. I put a link to the PDF in the description below. But the one feature I want to mention is pretty important. The external MIDI on the arpeggiator now works. Before it didn't. So I'm pretty glad that they added that because that's a pretty important feature. So if I press shift and knob assign, we can go to the settings. So I press enter, and then we want to go to MIDI and then go down. The MIDI receive channel. So you have to select a MIDI channel and that will operate whatever track we have selected. So I just wanted to get a little deeper into the details here about this awesome firmware update. I still have a lot to learn on this, so I eventually will want to get to a point where I know this by the back of my hand. I have a lot to learn on this and see how it works. There's a lot of functions I haven't even started to dive into. It's a very deep machine, and I do plan on making more videos for it. The Roland Mc707. So stay tuned. I'm in the middle of moving the studio, so it might take a little longer. I think around December, I'm going to be setting up the studio and hopefully be able to make a lot more tutorial videos on a lot of this gear. And I also plan on comparing it with other gear that I own. So it's going to be really exciting. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.